it's Lucy and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, please do consider smashing that subscribe button. It honestly would mean so much to me. I would love to have you back. And if you enjoyed this video, please do smash a big thumbs up to let me know. Also, before we get into this video, don't forget to go follow me over on TikTok and on Instagram. I'm posting so much content, especially over on TikTok at the moment. So if you enjoy my videos, you will hopefully enjoy my content over there as well. For today's video, I thought I would do another ranking tier system video. I did one before where I ranked your guys' favourite musicals. So today I'm going to be ranking your favourite musicals, musical movies. I'm not really sure which way round you're meant to say that, but I feel like both work. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I've got the same tier system on my laptop as I had the last time. We have got top tier, which is elite tier, like honestly, ride or die, absolutely obsessed with these. Then we have got love it, so it's really amazing, but not quite good enough to make elite. Then we've got meh, I don't really feel strongly either way about it. I would watch it, but I'm not really that bothered. Then we have slightly jarring, because I love the word jarring. It's just a bit like, oh, there's just something about it that I don't really like. And then we've got no thank you. That's ones I'm not really fussed about watching. So let's get into the ranking. First up, we have got an old school classic, Grease. Now I'm talking about the original Grease movie, not the new one that came out. I am toying with if this makes it into the elite tier. I absolutely love this movie, and I also feel like it's such a nostalgic movie. Like, I watched it loads growing up. My mum is obsessed with Hopelessly Devoted to You. Honestly, she loves that song so much. I feel like this isn't quite good enough to make it in elite because we've got stuff coming up that I know is elite. So I think Grease is gonna have to go in love it, but this is just such a good movie. If any of you guys haven't watched this movie, you need to watch it. I absolutely love it, and Olivia Newton-John is just sensational. Then we've got The Greatest Showman. Obviously, The Greatest Showman is quite new. When it first came out, I did watch it quite a lot, and I did really enjoy it, and I love Hugh Jackman. I think he's incredible. There's just something about The Greatest Showman that I don't love. I feel it's very long. I could just be making that up, but I feel like when I watch it, it feels very long. It's just not a love it. I don't think. If I had a like it category, it'd probably go in there. But for the categories that I've got here, I think we're just gonna have to go with meh. I feel like so many of you are gonna hate me for this, so please don't hate me. Please don't unsubscribe. I do love The Greatest Showman, just not as much as I love Grease, so I feel like it can't make it into the same category as Grease, if you get where I'm coming from. Guys, I think we've got our first elite movie, and that is Hairspray. Isn't Hairspray just probably the single best musical movie that has ever existed? I was obsessed with this. I had it on DVD, and I remember I also had it with like a bonus behind the scenes added extra DVD. You know when you'd get a DVD pack and they'd have 2 DVDs in it? And I watched both of those DVDs. I can't even tell you how many times. I think I could probably recite most of the Hairspray movie. Also, Hairspray is coming to London very soon. They literally start rehearsals tomorrow as I'm filming this, so I cannot wait to go and see that. This has to go in elite. There's literally no question at all. Okay, now we've got a battle of the High School Musicals. You guys only said High School Musical and High School Musical 2. No one said High School Musical 3, which I deeply agree with, because I don't really like High School Musical 3. I feel they dragged it out too long. They should have quit while they were ahead and just gone with High School Musical 2. I just feel High School Musical 3 just doesn't hit the same as the first and second ones do. So we're gonna start off with High School Musical 1. No, I know it's not called that, but the first one. Now, I love this movie. We actually did a High School Musical marathon quite recently, which just reignited my love for these movies. But the first one just doesn't hit the same as the second one does. The second High School Musical is just incredible. It truly is elite, so there's no question that it is going in the elite tier. I love every single song in it. I love that they're on their summer holidays, mostly having a great time. It's so feel good. So High School Musical 2 has to be elite. And I think High School Musical, the first one, just has to go and love it. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love it so much. And of course, because it's the first one, it's just a classic. But I just have a special place in my heart for High School Musical 2. I feel this is always a very controversial subject, so let me know down below in the comments. Do you prefer the first High School Musical or the second one? I'd be very intrigued to know what your preference is. Okay, next up we have got Into the Woods. Obviously, Stephen Sondheim, Into the Woods. The cast in this movie is ridiculously star-studded. I remember I watched the premiere of this in Dubai with my friends, and I just was blown away by the cast. It was actually insane. As such a little musical theatre fangirl, I was living my best life. And obviously the work of Stephen Sondheim is just incredible. I'm obsessed with the music in this show. I love Little Red Riding Hood as well. Honestly, if I had been young enough, I would have loved to have played Little Red Riding Hood. She is actually such an icon. So I think this is gonna go in Love It. It can't quite go in Elite because my issue with this movie is I think it's just a tiny bit too long. I don't know if that is me just having short attention attention span and being an actual 6-year-old. But for me, it's gonna go and love it, because I wouldn't sit down and watch Into the Woods just randomly one day in the way I would watch Hairspray or High School Musical 2. So it's definitely gonna go in love it. Okay, now we have got the last 5 years. This is one that I'm really unsure on, and I feel that kind of tells me what category it needs to go in. Obviously, I love the music in this. Like, Jason Robert Brown's music is incredible, and I think the story is amazing. I actually saw the last 5 years when it was on at the Southwark Playhouse, and I loved it. But the movie, for me, I don't love as much as I do seeing it live. Obviously, it's still great, but I feel like for me, there's just something about it that I'm not obsessed with. So it is gonna go in meh, because I wouldn't choose to watch it, I don't think. Next up, we've got La La Land. Now, doesn't this movie cause a little bit of controversy? I personally am not a huge fan of La La Land. I remember the first time I saw it in the cinema, I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was really feel good. I had a great time watching it. But then when I watched it again, I was a bit like, oh, it's not really for me. And I feel like it's kind of disappeared. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel people really talk about La La Land anymore, and that kind of speaks volumes. Some of the songs are absolute bops though, like Another Day of Sun, what an absolute tune. Now I've got it in my head. I think it's going to be stuck there for about a week. But for me, this movie is just slightly jarring. There's just something about it that I don't really enjoy, and I really can't put my finger on what it is. Next up, we've got the iconic Les Mis film. I think this has to go in the elite tier. There is no question about it. I love Les Mis. It's just incredible. The movie is incredible. The cast is incredible. The music is incredible. What I would have given to have been old enough and famous enough to be in that movie, honestly, that would have just been the best thing ever. I'm obsessed with Les Mis, so it has to go in the elite tier. There's absolutely no question. Next up, we've got Little Shop of Horrors. Now, I actually did Little Shop of Horrors as my year 10 school musical, and I was Audrey with my best friend Zahid playing Seymour, and his little brother played Mr. Mushnick, so that was very funny. The movie though of Little Shop of Horrors is just a bit, I feel like because it's really old, I just don't love it. I would love them to remake it. I think it could be really good if they remake it, because that is really a musical. I feel it stood the test of time. Like, it is still about, people still sing the songs, you still hear about it a lot, and young people still know about it. It's not like those musicals that have kind of died a bit and you don't hear about. But it is gonna have to go in slightly jarring. Guys, I don't know if anything's gonna make it into no thank you in this video, because all of these are bops. Now we have got the battle of the Mamma Mias. We've got Mamma Mia and Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. I think this is gonna be a surprise to people, but I much prefer the second Mamma Mia. The songs in it are just so much better, I think, and I love the story, and I love the fact you have the older and younger version of all the characters. There's just something about it that I'm absolutely obsessed with. I've watched that movie so many times, it's actually ridiculous, because I watched it like 3 times in the cinema in the space of a month, which is just a bit ridiculous. For me, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, which I think is this one, has to go in elite. I am obsessed with that movie, and a lot of people usually question me on it. They're like, no, the first one's better. I cannot agree. I think Here We Go Again has to be the better one, and the regular first Mamma Mia has to go and love it. Obviously, it's still an absolutely iconic movie and an iconic show. Oh my gosh, I would love them to make a staged version of Here We Go Again. I don't think they will, but if they did that, oh my gosh, that would be insane. I would love that. When I Kissed the Teacher, that scene where they're on the bikes and then they jump off the canal boat, like, I just watch it and I'm like, wow, what I would do to be dancing with them right now. Now we've got Mary Poppins Returns. I actually really enjoyed this movie, so this has to go in love it. Yeah, I just think it was really good fun. I thought it was beautifully filmed as well. I thought the cinematography was insane. The colours were epic. My favourite thing is when they're in the kind of china bowl. Why can I not remember what it's called? It's not a china bowl. You know, the bowl that breaks and then they go in it and they help to fix the bowl. I love that. I think the costumes and everything are beautiful. So Mary Poppins Returns for me has to go and love it. Next, we've got a controversial one, and that is The Prom. I quite enjoyed The Prom when I watched it. I have to say, I did think that it was good, and I did have a good time watching it. I understand totally the controversy around it. For me, it is just a bit meh though. I don't love all of the songs in The Prom, and I don't love the plot. It can't be up there with Into the Woods and High School Musical. It's just not quite on that level. Okay, I actually do think we have our first no thank you, and I think people are gonna hate me for this, and that is Rent. I'm just not the biggest Rent fan. It's just not a musical movie that I would choose to watch, or a musical that I would choose to watch. Obviously, if it was on, I would go and watch it, but I just don't love it. I'm gonna be completely honest. So for me, it's no thank you. Next, we've got The Sound of Music. This is just such a nostalgic movie. I was obsessed with this in my childhood. Again, watched it so much. I love Julie Andrews with every ounce of my heart. This is gonna go and love it because for me, it's not quite up there with like Hairspray and Les Mis, but I absolutely love The Sound of Music. It's such an OG. And then finally, we have got West Side Story. Now for me, this is gonna go in meh. I don't love it. I love some of the music, of course, and it's such a classic, but it's not a movie that I would choose to watch by myself, like if I just had to pop a movie on. And that is it of all of my rankings. I hope that no one hates me for what I've said. Don't get me wrong, I love all these movies and I would happily watch any of them, but this is just if I had to pop them in a category. It's all just a bit of fun. If you have enjoyed it, please do smash a big thumbs up to let me know. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and go follow me over on TikTok to see my daily content, and over on Instagram if you want to be involved in future videos. Thank you so much for all of your love and support, and I will see you very soon. Bye!